Have you ever tried to take a break and instead of feeling relaxed, you felt anxious? You sit down to rest, but your brain starts racing with everything you should be doing. You tell yourself you've earned a break, but something deep inside whispers, you're falling behind. If that sounds familiar, you're not lazy, you're not broken. You've just learned to survive in overdrive. And that survival pattern doesn't turn off easily. I'm Chris Bennett, and this is Sapien Coaching, where I help midlife professionals who look fine on the outside, but feel tired, stuck, or disconnected inside. And today, I want to talk about why rest feels wrong and what that actually reveals about your nervous system, your story, and your self-worth. Let's start here. Most of us were never taught how to rest. We were taught how to perform, how to produce, how to prove our worth, but not how to pause. Rest feels foreign when you've built an identity around being dependable, driven, or strong. Because in your nervous system, rest doesn't feel safe. It feels like exposure. If you grew up in an environment where being on kept you safe or accepted, where staying productive or pleasing others helped you avoid conflict, rejection, or chaos, then stillness wasn't rest. It was danger. So now, even as an adult, your body doesn't know the difference between slowing down and falling apart. Your system is wired to equate rest with risk. That's why it's not enough to tell yourself, I just need to rest more, because your body doesn't believe you. When you've lived in survival mode long enough, your nervous system starts to organize your whole life around avoiding discomfort. You fill your schedule so you don't have to feel. You say yes before thinking. You overfunction for others and undercare for yourself. It's not that you want to stay busy, it's that being busy feels safer than being still. And here's what's wild. Your nervous system actually starts to reward that. The rush of checking off tasks or being needed gives you little hits of dopamine, microdoses of I matter. But when the noise stops, the emptiness surfaces. So rest doesn't just feel wrong, it feels like failure. Here's a simple question. When you rest, what emotion tends to show up first? Is it guilt, restlessness, shame? Those feelings are data. They're not proof that you're broken. They're proof that your body learned to associate rest with threat. Let's go a layer deeper. Beneath our discomfort with rest are a few hidden beliefs that quietly run the show. If I stop, everything will fall apart. My worth is in my usefulness. Other people's needs come first. Do any of those sound familiar? Those beliefs aren't your fault. They're strategies you learned early on to feel safe and valued. But now those same strategies are exhausting. Because at some point, staying busy stopped being about passion and started being about protection. For me, I remember the moment I realized how deeply wired this was. A few years ago, I took a weekend off. No email, no clients, no agenda. And on paper, it looked like peace. But inside, I felt anxious the entire time. It wasn't until halfway through that weekend that I realized I wasn't resting, I was enduring rest, waiting for permission to get busy again. And that's when it hit me. My restlessness wasn't a lack of discipline. It was a sign of how tightly I tied my worth to my productivity. Here's the truth. Rest isn't just the absence of work, it's the presence of safety. It's your nervous system finally exhaling, saying, I can let go now. That's why real rest feels emotional, sometimes even painful, because as you slow down, you start to feel everything you've been outrunning. Rest is where your real self begins to speak, and for many of us, that voice has been buried under decades of noise. If you struggle to rest, don't start with a weekend off. Start with micro rest. That might look like closing your eyes for 1 minute and noticing your breath, sitting outside without your phone, letting an email wait until tomorrow, even though you could answer it tonight. Micro rest retrains your body to feel safe with small pauses. Over time, your nervous system learns nothing bad happens when I stop. That's how you rebuild the bridge between effort and ease. The real work isn't forcing yourself to rest, it's rebuilding your sense of safety when you're not performing. That's the heart of healing. Because once you can rest without guilt, you can start living without constant fear of not enough. And ironically, that's when your energy, creativity, and clarity come back. When rest stops feeling wrong, you stop running your life like an emergency. So if you've been telling yourself, I should rest more, but every time you try it, it feels uncomfortable, try this instead. Ask, what part of me still thinks I have to earn rest? That's the part that needs compassion, not correction. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to teach your body that it's finally safe to slow down. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to slow down with me. Subscribe to this channel for more grounded conversations about clarity, calm, and purpose, especially for those of us in midlife who are learning to live from alignment instead of survival. And if you're ready to take a deeper step, book a call, a free call, or send me an email. You don't have to earn your peace. You just have to remember it.